Good morning, Fig fam. I report to you with some WWE wrestling figure news and reveals. And you might be saying to yourself, Fig Heel, just yesterday you dropped a reveals and news video, and I did. However, we got even more just as we finished filming that one. I didn't want to add it because it was already long. I didn't want to do another video in the same day, so we're dropping it this morning. And trust me, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And we're going to get right into it, starting off with basics. Right here, we have the new Wave 1 2026 WWE Champions line. Now, if you're like me, I haven't really seen much of this series anywhere except Kohl's. But some people are finding them other places like Rite Aids and things like that. Those drugstores and such. But this series is the 2026 Wave 1. It's going to have Cody Rhodes with the WWE Championship. It's going to have Randy Orton and John Cena. Now, here is that Cody Rhodes in the red, white, and blue pants. He does have those American Nightmare plates on the side with a nice smile and head sculpt of Cody Rhodes. I gotta say, this application of the smile on this one is actually pretty good. Sometimes they do not look so hot. But yeah, I mean, it's just another way to get the stars out there, right? Another way to get belts into the line. So I am absolutely here for it. Loving this flashback Orton, though, with the World Heavyweight Championship. He's got the red RKO on the knee pads. He's got the red designs on the trunks. A little bit darker hair. I would say it's probably a little bit too dark for Randy Orton. He actually ends up looking like the cashier at my local Lowe's. But he does have those tattoos, the wrist tape, everything we come to expect from the Viper. But I think the biggest star of all of these figures is those belts, right? We just love having belts and different versions of them. But my favorite from this set is John Cena right here. The never give up, respect. He's even got the armband, which I found interesting, right? They painted on the wristbands, but they gave him a physical armband that wraps around his arm over the sleeve of his t-shirt, which he's never worn. When he has them on, it's underneath the t-shirt. He takes off the t-shirt, then we see that he's got the armband on. So a little confusing to include a rubber armband on a t-shirt figure of John Cena when they could have just gotten away with putting the rubber wristbands on the wrist, and I think it would have looked better. But beggars can't be choosers, and I am not going to complain too much because we're getting a spinner championship belt. He's got the hat on, that NES style gear, which I really, really dig. And I actually passed on this the first two times that they released this figure. So I think I will be picking this one up if I ever find it in Kohl's. Now, you'll notice here on this picture that the WWE logo is upside down at the champ, whereas over here it's facing up. So this is a working spinner title, which I love to see, man. I love to see that spinner title return, and John Cena can't get enough figures right now. We all love him. We all want him. But moving on, we're going to take a look at the new main event showdown. I always want to call it Championship Showdown. Series 25, starting off with Mr. Yeet, Jey Uso in a two-pack versus Braun Breaker with the World Heavyweight Championship. I love that the World Heavyweight Championship has those Jey Uso side plates. I don't think we've gotten that yet. I'm loving the gear on Jey, the main event, the red, the white, the gold. It's actually the colors of my town, so I'm definitely down for this one. The only thing I don't like about this set is that Braun Breaker head sculpt. I don't really know what they were thinking. The tattoos on his arms are like on his arm is like way too small. Plus, this guy has super toyetic singlets and gear, and we're going to put him in an all black again. I just don't really understand it. But yeah, that head sculpt is not great. Moving on over to this one. This one actually shocked me. All right. We knew this was coming, right? But we didn't know what was going to be on Dominic's shirt. And it's actually a picture of Liv kissing him. And while that is like kind of true to story, I'm a little confused because this is a kid's toy. I'm shocked that they would include like two people making out on a kid's toy, which is, I'm not complaining. I think it looks awesome, but I have got to imagine there's going to be parents who kind of complain about this. Comes with the Women's World Heavyweight Championship that has the Liv plates. I dig it. She's got the eye on the back where it's got the sacrum. She also has the ribbed shirt, her choker. That head sculpt, though, has got to go. We've got to fix up these head sculpts for Liv because they are awful. Plus, the tattoos on Dominic don't look too great to me. They look a little bit off center and stuff. But overall, happy to see these two get more figures in the line. And then my favorite, the Power Ranger New Day. We got Kofi Kingston. We've got Xavier Woods. And as you can see, Xavier Woods in that Black Ranger gear as Kofi's in the Green Ranger. So as a buddy of Xavier, as his tag team partner on Wheel of Fortune, I got to pick this one up. So I love this. I was a huge Power Ranger fan as a kid, so this is the best of both fandoms. Kind of sucks though they don't come with any championship of some sort, even though they didn't really hold a championship in this gear. But we'll take it. And now, moving on to main event series 162. We actually revealed this lineup recently, so I am excited to see them in final form on the card, starting off with John Cena. I got to say, I'm a little disappointed in this one. Not disappointed because of how it looks. I'm disappointed because I do think that this should have been an elite. And you see what I'm talking about here? This is how that, this is exactly how that championship one should have been. He's got the John Cena wristbands, doesn't have an armband. If he has a t-shirt on, he doesn't need an armband. I don't understand including that, but I love that he has the wristbands here. I love that he has the Beefeater on and in the shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts that he's done on the farewell tour. So I was really hoping this was going to be an elite. Doesn't look like it will be. Never say never, but kind of disappointed. I think there's other figures from the farewell tour that are getting elites that could have definitely been basics, and this one deserved that elite treatment, in my opinion. Love the Never Give Up socks, though. Here it is, mint on card. Plus, I mean, look how cool that hat is. I mean, I just think that this all would have tied together so much better as an elite. After this, you can't see me. I love those different designs on the back of these shirts as well. So I have been collecting all of the farewell tour figures, and I continue to do so. Uncle Howdy getting his first basic in the main event line, or I should say main event figure in the main event line. He's gotten basics before as Bo Dallas, but this is not Bo Dallas. This is Uncle Howdy. He's got the braid glove on. He's got the mask. Pretty basic gear, right? Nothing too crazy. Not the most toyetic Uncle Howdy, but I will be picking up all of the Uncle Howdys. Very, very cool for him. I'm not crazy about the likeness, right? The green is just a little bit weird to me, the way it looks, but I mean, it is a mask, so it is what it is. Yeah, not my favorite figure. Down here, we got Rey Mysterio, Latino World Order. I love the LWO shirt. I love the Jordans. He's got a necklace accessory. The fact that main event figures are getting accessories now is a huge plus to me. Tattoos are pretty decently done down his arms. I'm a fan of that. The fact that, most Rey Mysterio figures that come into the main event line usually have to have t-shirts on and limited tattoos. So I feel like we got the best of both worlds here. Love that head sculpt, that more modern day Doom style mask, which I dig. Nothing on the back. Pretty basic besides that. It's crazy when you see how much of these main event figures nowadays are just predominantly black, right? Like the majority of what they wear is just black, 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 black. Speaking of which, here we have Dragon Lee, who does come with an armband, not a John Cena armband. A very cartoony Batman looking head sculpt, right? Like the mouth on it looks like a Kenner Batman figure from the 90s. But I love the detail in the sculpt on the boots. Kind of shocked that they did that. It makes you think, are they going to reuse this sculpt again? Are we going to get more Dragon Lees in the line? Who knows? Maybe that was the intention, that they were going to have a Chase or something, but then they did away with Chase figures in the main event, Elite, and Ultimate line. So they're only going to be special drop-ins with a Chase figure. But I do think this figure looks pretty awesome. I dig it. And then Kairi Sane, again, what I was saying, in the all black. It's literally all black and then a couple little sprinkled in hints of silver on her gear. Nothing really too much to talk about here, right? She's got the steering wheel right there on the elbow pad, which is way oversized. Yeah, this is not my favorite main event series, but I do want that John Cena. I do want the Uncle Howdy. Kind of interesting that there's no flashbacks, though. Usually we have at least one legend. Nothing in this one. Then we saw WWE Retro Wave 1. These are going to be the Ringside Collectibles exclusives that are dropping at the end of 2025. This is Series 1. And I don't know if that means that retros are no longer going to be all Mattel creations, if they're still going to do those 4 packs, or if this is the route we're going for retros. But it has 2 modern guys and a legend that we've always wanted in retro form, and that is Jesse the Body Ventura, his very first ever retro figure. I mean, look at this. We've got the pinkish purple, whatever you want to call that color. I mean, it's always disputed. Zebra pants. He's got the boots on, the black and zebra lapel jacket, that light blue shirt that matches the bandana. You can tell he's getting ready to say something real cocky into the microphone. I love it. Plus, the packaging is much improved, as you can see. Check that out, man. All the line art looks so legit to the Hasbro line. Even where the action is, everything is so much more improved and looks more true to form as far as Hasbro's. Like, look at the carding here. It's obviously so much different than previous times, and it's a direct copy of what we've always known from Hasbro's. It is still going to be slip covers though, which I'm kind of bummed about. I would like blister cards where it's adhesed to the card, but beggars can't be choosers. In this image right here, I think his hand on the left side looks massive. Absolutely massive. So look at that. They look like 2 different size hands and arms to me. But Cody Rhodes looking pretty good. He's got both tattoos, the Dream. He's got the American Nightmare logo there. I feel like we've gotten this gear of Cody Rhodes in pretty much every form factor now. Head sculpt looks good. He looks absolutely jacked. I mean, what more can you say, right? What more can you say? American Nightmare Cody Rhodes getting another figure, and this time it is a retro. I'm loving these cards, though. I think the way it looks on the card is the biggest selling point to me because it looks so authentic to a Hasbro, and I dig the fact that all of the headshots that they have on the carding are so good, right? They're not typical studio shots we're used to seeing. Here we have CM Punk, who looks like he has super long arms that don't really match the bottom. Plus, the skin tone on the top doesn't match the skin tone on the bottom, which I thought was interesting. But it is that white Chicago-made style gear with the X's on his fists. Pretty much all of his tattoos, which I was shocked by. Great likeness. I'm here for it, man. I am. I'm here for it. I think this is a very cool one. Plus, my favorite action in the retro line, Hasbro line, is the punch. I just always loved it. I thought it was always fun. And I love that his wrestling action is called the Punch of the Punch List. I mean, come on. A little tongue in cheek there. You got to enjoy that. So I'm excited for these. These are dropping at the end of 2025. RingsideCollectibles.com. Use code FIGHEAL to save 10%. And now we are going to move on to some of those Elite style figures, starting off right here with Elite Series 123. We got the OTC Roman Reigns in his black and red boots. He's got the new gauntlets with the red accenting, but something about, and he's got the new torso, but something about this head, I'll show you in some of these pictures, looks way oversized. Like, look at that. Doesn't that look odd how it's sitting on his neck? Like his neck, I'm sorry, undersized. His neck looks huge and the head looks super small. It looks like it's not in scale with the rest of the body. Even here, doesn't the neck look super duper long and wide? And then the head kind of like, it just doesn't look right to me. I don't know. Something looks off, and it could just be me. The boot mold, beautiful. I absolutely love it. And as you can see, it has a toe articulation. So I love when they sneak that into some elites and they can make that work. Very cool for the OTC. Then this shocked me. We have a new Drew McIntyre, which I dig in the black and the green. And it is getting a first time in the line wrench accessory. We've never gotten a wrench accessory. So I think that's pretty cool, from his match. And we've gotten this head sculpt a lot. We've pretty much gotten this entire figure a lot. It's just, green accenting. So the thing that excited me the most about this figure was that wrench. I got to be honest with you. Plus the scale of it, the way it fits in his hand, I think is perfectly done. And this, what everybody has been waiting for, WWE Elite Series 123 Demolition are making their return to the Elite line. And when you look at it, the molding is pretty much all the same from the original Legends release. However, we got the new joints. We got new paint. So it makes it, a little bit more satiating for us to pick up. But here's the thing. I do not think that this axe is better than the original Legends axe. I don't. I think the original one is a little bit more defining and definitive of his look. So I might keep this mint on card when I get it. I'm 100% getting it, right? But I might keep this mint on card. Um, I dig it. I'm happy to have Demolition back in the line. I'm happy to get them in the Superstars line. Hell, give us some retros. I'd be happy with that, you know? And I believe Crush is still slated for Series 125 to match them. So that's very, very exciting. There they are. And here is Smash. Now, I got to say, I love the Smash. I do think that this is very toyetic paint for Smash. However, I still think the original release is the defining and definitive Demolition Smash. So I might keep this one mint on card, like I said. I just don't think it's a necessary upgrade for me as far as my loose display, but I'm happy to have it mint on card. Plus, I think it looks excellent on these new boxes. These are some of my favorite boxes that they've done so far. But yeah, there it is. Young Smash. Barry Darso. You love to see it. He's got the tattoo. I wish that he had the elbow pad on. I think that's crucial, but it is what it is, right? It's even in the picture. Whatever. And then this is another one that we were very excited about. Great Khali. And he comes with the World Heavyweight Championship that has the Great Khali nameplate on it and some fisticuffs. I'm curious to see how this feels in hand because that Build-A-Figure Elite was super, super hollow and lightweight and felt very, very cheap. So I'm hoping that this doesn't feel that way, right? But man, does it look good. That head sculpt is exceptional. Plus, I've always loved when he wore the black. I felt like he was much more intimidating in the black pants. Thought it was interesting in this picture. You can tell that he's holding the World Heavyweight Championship upside down, which I thought was interesting. And then Nikki Bella returns to the line. She's got her Fearless Nikki shirt, her Go Fearless hat, and then, of course, all of her gear, which is newly sculpted on the top, has her armbands. She's got them. There's so much going on with this figure. The mesh netting. She's got her nails painted, her sneakers. But the one thing she doesn't have is a head that looks like her. I do not think they did Nikki Bella any justice with this head sculpt. I think she deserved a little bit more. I see shades of her there, but I think it could have required a little bit more sculpting to slender out that face. But very cool that she is back in the line. It's kind of crazy when we start getting Nikki Bellas and no Brie Bellas, right? For so long, I was accustomed to, they came as a package deal. And then when they started getting elites on their own, it was like, wow, it's crazy to kind of break off out of that, that shell of being attached to your sister. And then Ultimate Edition Series 29. Now, we revealed this lineup as well, and I told you that Dominic Mysterio was going to be in it, Umaga was going to be in it, and Cody Rhodes, who would have a chase, was going to be in this set. So some of you reached out to me and asked me where Cody was. Listen, I don't think Cody's coming because they put up the pre-orders and there's no mention of him. Plus, they ended chases. My theory is that they kind of pulled him. I think that they probably pulled him from the set because I will say this, that information that I, shared came from very, very reliable sources to the point that I am 100% sure that that was initially the plan to have Cody Rhodes in this lineup and then pulled. Every Ultimate Edition set has 3 figures in it. This one started off with 3 being announced and, being up for order on the order sheets, and then now we don't have it. So yes, I do not think that information was wrong. I just think that there was a change. Card subject to change. But Dominic is looking awesome. Here it is, mint on card, the back. I love that he has a cloth good shirt that wraps around his waist. I was wondering how they were going to do that. Plus the entrance vest, all 3 heads, I said it 1,000 times, look incredible. Here we have there he is again, Dominic Mysterio with the long hair. Looks great. Dirty Dom on the shirt. I mean, there's so much about this to love. The back of it with the spine going through. I mean, this is just a money figure, and I cannot wait to have this in hand to unbox. But Umaga getting the ultimate treatment. We've talked about this as well. The Intercontinental Championship. He's got a cloth goods sarong, has most of his tattoos, not all. Unique face paint. My favorite part was actually the back tat on this one. I thought it was exceptional and well done. I'll show you. Check that out. It looks phenomenal. One of my favorite versions of Umaga that we've ever gotten, and that includes Jax. So shout out to Mattel on this one. It's a great release right here. And then we saw the upcoming Coliseum collection, which is going to feature Jesse the Body Ventura and King Kong Bundy, who I do think the proportions of his body look a little off, right? Legs, super thick. Arms, super thick. And then we have the torso, which I think isn't thick enough. It's thick, but it's not thick enough. And I think the neck could have been a little bit fatter. a lot of things, but man, this Jesse the Body is unbelievable. Check out all that value. You get the boas, additional hands, additional heads, the unique sunglasses that you're only going to get with Jesse the Body Ventura, bandanas, the hats. I mean, there's so much variety here. You got that wallpaper style, whatever you want to call it, tights, which I think look great. Those old school maroon boots. I mean, there's a lot to be excited about here. This is one of those figures where I feel like I'm going to have to get two so that I can open one and keep one mock. One to rock, one to stock. But check this out. There are the variations of the chase and the standard. The standard's on the blue card, chase is on the black card. And those of you that ask, no, there's no difference in the figure. It's just a different carding. But man, these shots look exceptional. I love every single version of this. All the heads, all the accessories. This is a must get. And I got to say, this might be figure of the year for me. It is very, very good. Here we have King Kong Bundy, and we have him with his knee pads that are super wide and thick. Listen, I love this figure. I do, because it's Bundy. I love that the shirt doesn't just say Bundy, it says King Kong Bundy. I love that we're getting 3 unique head sculpts that we haven't gotten before. There's some things that just look off with it, you know, and this is somebody that I've been around like a majority of my life. My dad was friends with him, went to high school with him. I used to compete in CrossFit competitions with his nephew. I know all 3 of his brothers. I used to work with his one brother. I mean, there's so much connection to this that I really wanted it to be excellent. But a legend's a legend, and I love the fact that we are getting this in Ultimate Edition form. Got to imagine this is the only way that we would get King Kong Bundy in Ultimate form, so a must get for me. Even though I do think it could have been a little bit better. But there is the chase carding. Very, very cool. Look at that. I think it's funny because this head actually looks like his brother more than anything, which is interesting. But anyways, great stuff. As you can see here, a lot of things coming. Late 2025 is the Coliseum collection, the retros. Early 2026 is the Ultimate Edition Wave 29, Elite Series 123, Main Event 162, Main Event Showdown Series 25, and the Champions 2026 wave. So a lot of stuff to get excited about, guys. So comment below. Let me know your favorite thing we showed off this week and your favorite thing you thought we should get this week. So, yeah. I think that there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, and I hope you guys are excited for what's about to come. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Fig Heel. Twitter is at The Fig Heel. Pick up the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, available now on Amazon.com, or simply go to heelbooks.com and make sure you join Whatnot at whatheel.com, and you will get $15 off your first purchase. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace. Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE, Mattel, AEW, Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need Fig Heel's Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, the modern edition covering all releases from 2010 to present day. Featuring over 7,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands, including independent toy makers. Keep track of what you have, want, and need, including loose, mock, and overall collection value. With figure photography by Matthew Goldberg, the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia is a must-have for collectors. Full-color paperback and hardcover editions available now at heelbooks.com. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Fig Heel. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeel. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at whatheel.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.